What if your child is not confused? What if your child is not lazy? What if your child is not distracted, difficult, stubborn, emotional, restless, or not serious enough? What if your child is simply carrying a very specific intelligence pattern and nobody has decoded it properly yet? Today, I want you to listen carefully because this is not theory. This is an actual case study. I will use an imaginary name for privacy. Let us call this child James. Now, when I look at James's chart, I'm not looking for generic predictions. I'm not asking, will he become successful? That is too shallow. I'm asking something far more useful. I'm asking, what kind of intelligence is operating inside this child? Because once you understand that, everything changes. The way you educate the child changes. The way you guide the child changes. The way you choose subjects changes. The way you speak to the child changes. And most importantly, the child stops feeling like something is wrong with him. This is why I say intelligence mapping through planetary placement is direct. It does not only tell you what the child may do, it tells you how the child thinks, learns, reacts, enjoys, solves, connects, and creates meaning in the world. That is the real diagnostic engine. In James's case, the ascendant is in Aries, Mars is in Aries in the first house, and Mars is also the Amatya Karaka, the planet of career intelligence and applied skill. Now pause here. This is not a small placement. Mars in Aries in the first house is not a child who learns by sitting quietly forever and absorbing theory. This is a child who learns through action, challenge, speed, movement, competition, pressure, and practical application. You may call him restless. I call him action intelligent. You may say he does not sit in one place. I say his intelligence wakes up when his body, mind, and will are engaged together. You may say he argues. I say he is testing force, logic, boundaries, and decision-making. This is why planetary placement becomes such a powerful diagnostic engine. It allows us to stop mislabeling children. It helps us understand the intelligence behind the behavior. Mars as Amatya Karaka shows that James's professional intelligence is not passive. He is not built only for memorization. He is built for execution. He is built for problem solving. He is built to take initiative. This kind of child needs challenges. He needs projects. He needs practical work. He needs something to build, fix, test, compete with, improve, or master. So when I map James's intelligence, the first dominant intelligence is very clear. Technical strategic intelligence. This is the intelligence of engineering, systems, mechanics, robotics, coding, analytics, construction, operations, surgery, sports science, defense, product development, and high-pressure decision-making. But listen carefully. This does not mean every Mars-dominant child must become an engineer or athlete. That is not how serious intelligence mapping works. It means the intelligence pattern is action-based, tactical, logical, and result-driven. The field must respect that intelligence. Now look deeper. James also has K2 in Virgo in the 6th house. This is where the chart becomes even more precise. Virgo is the sign of analysis, detail, correction, service, refinement, health, process, and problem solving. The 6th house is the house of obstacles, competition, daily discipline, errors, disease, service, and improvement. K2 here gives a mind that can detach from emotional noise and cut directly into the problem. This is diagnostic intelligence. This is the child who may spot what is wrong before others can even define the issue. He may notice flaws in systems. He may question methods. He may dislike vague teaching. He may ask why something is done in a particular way. And sometimes, because he sees errors quickly, adults may think he is being critical. But what if he is not being negative? What if his intelligence is naturally designed to detect inefficiency? That is a very different way to see the child. K2 in Virgo in the 6th house gives the ability to simplify complexity. It gives surgical thinking. It gives correction instinct. It gives problem-fixing intelligence. So when Mars in Aries and K2 in Virgo combine in the intelligence map, we see a child who is not meant for passive education alone. He is meant for applied mastery. He will enjoy subjects where he can ask, how does this work? Where is the defect? How can this be improved? What is the fastest practical solution? What is the structure underneath the problem? This is why subjects like engineering, artificial intelligence, robotics, data analytics, mechanical systems, software development, diagnostics, sports science, forensic analysis, product design, and technical research may strongly suit him. But now comes another layer. James has Sun and Mercury in Capricorn in the 10th house. This is a major public career intelligence signature. The 10th house is career, reputation, public image, responsibility, status, authority, and work contribution. Capricorn is the sign of structure, discipline, systems, institutions, duty, long-term achievement, and real-world pressure. Mercury brings communication, analysis, writing, speaking, logic, trade, calculation, documentation, and intellectual skill. Sun brings leadership, visibility, authority, confidence, and purpose. So here we see the second dominant intelligence, strategic communication intelligence. This child is not only meant to solve problems, he is meant to explain them. He is not only meant to work behind the scenes. He may eventually stand in a visible professional role. He may become the person who understands the system and then communicates the solution. This is the intelligence of a technical speaker, strategist, consultant, trainer, lawyer, policy thinker, business communicator, product manager, leadership voice, or public-facing professional. You may notice that James may speak with directness. He may not enjoy unnecessary emotional drama in communication. He may prefer useful words, structured explanations, and practical conclusions. He may ask for clarity. He may challenge vague statements. He may become irritated when people talk without direction. That is not disrespect by default. That is Capricorn Mercury asking for structure. When Sun and Mercury sit in the 10th house, language becomes connected to career. Communication becomes visible. Thinking becomes public. The child may later gain recognition through analysis, explanation, leadership, administration, strategy, consulting, business, law, management, or technical communication. This is why I would not guide James only toward a narrow technical path. I would also train him in presentation, debate, writing, public speaking, leadership communication, negotiation, and structured thinking. Because his intelligence is not only in doing, it is also in directing. Now let us move to the emotional and relational intelligence. James has Moon and Jupiter in Libra in the 7th house. This is very important. The 7th house is the house of people, partnerships, public interaction, business, one-to-one relationships, contracts, negotiation, and the outside world. Libra is the sign of balance, harmony, fairness, diplomacy, aesthetics, and social intelligence. Moon gives emotional awareness. Jupiter gives wisdom, ethics, guidance, teaching, and moral judgment. So here we see the third major intelligence, interpersonal diplomatic intelligence. This means James is not just a technical child. He is not meant to be locked away in a room with machines only. He has a strong people-facing intelligence. He may understand fairness quickly. He may notice when one person is being treated unfairly. He may be drawn to partnership, teamwork, debate, negotiation, mediation, and human dynamics. He may have the ability to calm people down, explain both sides, and search for a balanced conclusion. This is a powerful placement for law, counseling, business, public relations, diplomacy, psychology, consulting, teaching, relationship advisory, client management, and leadership. But here's the hidden truth. When a child has strong Mars and strong Libra influence, there can be an internal tension. Mars says, act now. Libra says, consider the other person. Mars says, win. Libra says, balance. Mars says, move fast. Moon Jupiter in Libra says, understand the human consequence. This is not a weakness. This is a leadership formula. If trained well, James can become someone who takes bold action but does not lose ethical judgment. He can become a leader who is decisive but not crude, strong but not insensitive, ambitious but not unfair. That is rare. And that is why intelligence mapping matters. Because without this map, one adult may only see his Mars and call him aggressive. Another may only see his Libra and call him people-conscious. But the real picture is synthesis. James is both. He is action and balance. He is technical and relational. He is courage and fairness. Now let us look at the soul intelligence. James has Venus as Atma Karaka in Sagittarius in the 9th house. This is one of the most important placements in the whole chart. Atma Karaka shows the deep soul desire, the inner path, the deepest hunger of the being. Venus as Atma Karaka means the soul is learning through beauty, harmony, relationships, refinement, aesthetics, love, value, art, attraction, emotional connection, and creative expression. But Venus is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the sign of wisdom, philosophy, higher learning, travel, culture, ethics, teaching, faith, meaning, and worldview. So this is not superficial Venus. This is not only fashion, comfort, pleasure, or romance. This is Venus seeking meaning. This is beauty connected to truth. This is creativity connected to philosophy. This is relationship connected to growth. This is aesthetics connected to culture, education, belief, and moral direction. This gives James a strong visual, spatial, and aesthetic conceptual intelligence. He may be drawn to design, architecture, photography, film, branding, visual communication, product design, user experience, art with meaning, cultural studies, symbolic systems, educational media, or creative entrepreneurship. But because Sagittarius is involved, he will not be satisfied with beauty alone. He will ask, what does this mean? He will ask, what value does this carry? He will ask, how does this connect to life, culture, truth, wisdom, or human growth? This is why a purely mechanical or purely dry career may not fully satisfy him, even if he is good at it. He needs meaning. He needs inspiration. He needs a sense that his work connects him to the world. So for James, the best field is not one-dimensional. The best field is a hybrid. Technical intelligence plus design, engineering plus product thinking, artificial intelligence plus human experience, law plus ethics, architecture plus cultural meaning, psychology plus communication, data plus strategy, business plus values, technology plus social impact. This is where his chart starts becoming very exciting, because many parents ask, what should my child study? But I ask a better question. What field will allow the child's intelligence to breathe? For James, a field must include challenge, structure, people, meaning, and practical problem solving. If you put him in a field that has only theory, he may lose interest. If you put him in a field that has only beauty but no challenge, he may feel underused. If you put him in a field that has only people but no structure, he may feel drained. If you put him in a field that has only technical complexity but no meaning, he may become successful but emotionally disconnected. The right path must combine his full intelligence pattern. Now look at Saturn in Cancer in the 4th house. This shows emotional seriousness. The 4th house is inner peace, home, education, emotional foundation, mother, comfort, and psychological security. Cancer is emotional, nurturing, sensitive, and protective. Saturn here can create emotional restraint, early maturity, responsibility toward family, and a deep need for stable inner grounding. So James may not always express his vulnerability openly. He may appear strong outside, but internally he may carry pressure quietly. He may need a peaceful home atmosphere. He may need emotionally mature guidance, not shouting, comparison, or humiliation. If you push a Mars-Aries child through aggression, you do not create discipline. You create resistance. If you guide him through challenge, responsibility, respect, and purpose, you awaken his best intelligence. Saturn in the 4th also means education must give him security. He should not feel that learning is only a performance race. He should feel that learning is helping him build inner strength and outer competence. Then we come to Rahu in Pisces in the 12th house. This adds imagination, subconscious depth, foreign connection, spiritual curiosity, dream intelligence, and interest in unseen dimensions. Pisces is creative, intuitive, compassionate, and boundaryless. The 12th house is isolation, foreign lands, sleep, dreams, meditation, hospitals, retreats, imagination, and the hidden world. This placement can make James sensitive to atmospheres. He may need solitude. He may have a strong dream life. He may be drawn to foreign cultures, global work, healing spaces, film, music, psychology, spirituality, or imagination-based creativity. But Rahu in the 12th must be grounded. Otherwise, it can create escapism, distraction, fantasy, or overabsorption in digital worlds. The solution is not to suppress imagination. The solution is to channel it. Give him creative projects. Give him design work. Give him film, storytelling, meditation, global exposure, research, travel, or purposeful solitude. Do not let imagination become escape. Turn it into creation. Now, when we put the entire intelligence map together, what do we see? We see a child with technical strategic intelligence as the strongest base. We see strategic communication intelligence as the second major strength. We see interpersonal diplomatic intelligence as a major relational gift. We see visual spatial and aesthetic conceptual intelligence as the soul-level joy pathway. We see bodily kinesthetic intelligence through Mars in Aries. We see intrapersonal and existential intelligence through Venus in Sagittarius, Jupiter's influence, and Rahu in Pisces. And we see diagnostic correction intelligence through K2 in Virgo in the 6th house. This is not a child who should be boxed into one label. This is not just a science child, not just an arts child, not just a sports child, not just a leadership child. James is a hybrid intelligence case, and in today's world, hybrid intelligence is a superpower, because the future does not belong only to children who memorize answers. The future belongs to children who can connect systems, children who can understand people, children who can use technology, children who can communicate clearly, children who can solve problems, children who can create meaningful experiences, children who can lead with courage and ethics. That is why intelligence mapping through planetary placement is superior to shallow observation, because normal observation says he is active. The chart says his action is career intelligence. Normal observation says he is critical. The chart says he has diagnostic correction intelligence. Normal observation says he likes fairness. The chart says his moon Jupiter in Libra is building interpersonal and ethical judgment. Normal observation says he likes design or beauty. The chart says Venus Atma Karaka in Sagittarius is showing soul-level aesthetic philosophical intelligence. Normal observation says he daydreams. The chart says Rahu in Pisces in the 12th needs imagination to be channeled into creation. This is the difference. One method labels behavior, the other decodes intelligence. Now, what should James study? The strongest recommendations are fields where he can combine action, structure, communication, design, people, and purpose. So, I would strongly consider engineering with innovation, robotics, artificial intelligence, computer science, data analytics, mechanical or aerospace engineering, product design, UX design, architecture, technology law, policy, international relations, psychology, behavioral science, management consulting, technical communication, entrepreneurship, sports science, design-led business, educational technology, human-centered technology. If he chooses engineering, let it not be dry engineering. Let it include design, product, leadership, or innovation. If he chooses law, let it not be only bookish law. Let it include technology, policy, justice, public leadership, or negotiation. If he chooses design, let it not be only decoration. Let it include systems, usability, culture, meaning, and strategy. If he chooses psychology, let it not be only emotional listening. Let it include behavioral systems, coaching, performance, youth development, and structured intervention. If he chooses business, let it not be only money. Let it include brand, strategy, people, product, and ethical value. That is how you align the field with the intelligence map. And now I want to speak directly to you as a parent, mentor, teacher, or young person listening. If you are guiding a child like James, do not make the mistake of forcing him into a narrow definition of success. Do not say, just take science because you are sharp. Do not say, just take commerce because it is practical. Do not say, just take arts because you like people. That is too simplistic. Instead, ask, where does his intelligence become alive? Where does he show natural energy? Where does he solve without being forced? Where does he ask deeper questions? Where does he lose track of time? Where does he feel useful? Where does he feel connected to the world? That is where his future begins. Because when a child studies something aligned with his intelligence, discipline becomes easier. When a child works in a field aligned with his chart, confidence becomes natural. When a child's education matches his intelligence pattern, he does not need to be pushed all the time. He starts moving. He starts owning. He starts leading. And this is exactly why deep intelligence map reading is so powerful. It is not about predicting one job title. It is about identifying the child's operating system. It is about seeing whether the child is logical, linguistic, spatial, interpersonal, intrapersonal, musical, naturalist, bodily kinesthetic, existential, diagnostic, strategic, or hybrid. It is about knowing which planet is driving the mind, which house is activating the talent, which sign is shaping the expression, which karaka is revealing the soul desire, which amatya karaka is showing the career intelligence, which conjunction is creating a specialized ability. That is the level of mapping your child deserves. So when I look at James, I do not see confusion. I see a technical strategist. I see a sharp communicator. I see a courageous problem solver. I see a diplomatic thinker. I see a design-sensitive soul. I see a child who needs challenge, meaning, people, and real-world application. And if guided properly, This child can grow into someone who builds, leads, explains, designs, protects, negotiates, and improves systems for others. That is not ordinary intelligence. That is mapped intelligence. That is directed intelligence. That is intelligence with purpose. So, if you are a parent wondering why your child behaves in a certain way, if you are a teenager wondering why normal education does not fully excite you, if you are a young person trying to choose subjects, career paths, or fields of study, do not rely only on marks, trends, pressure, or comparison. Get the intelligence mapped. Understand the planetary placement. Understand the signs. Understand the houses. Understand the karakas. Understand the conjunctions. Understand the diagnostic engine behind the personality. Because the right field is not the one society blindly recommends. The right field is the one that works for you. And when your intelligence map is read properly, you do not just choose a career. You choose a path where your mind, your skill, your joy, and your connection with the world begin to come together. If you want a deep intelligence map reading for your child or for yourself, get in touch with me. Let us decode the intelligence pattern properly. Let us understand what kind of mind is operating beneath the surface. Let us identify the dominant intelligence, the hidden intelligence, the suitable subjects, the right learning style, and the field where the person can feel alive, useful, successful, and connected. Because your child does not need to become someone else. Your child needs to become the most aligned version of who they already are. And that begins with the right map.